Hello, Simply Aikens family, and welcome back to another vlog on our channel. Whatever time we were supposed to get on the road, we did not get on the road, but we got on the road. We always stop at Bucky, and this time was no different, but we went in on a mission because little Gabe had sent Garrett a pullover blanket he had, so we had to find Garrett the blanket as well. Not before he played a little basketball. And eventually he ended up finding a blanket, but it wasn't the blanket that he went in there for. And anytime I go, I'm going to get my dog some beef jerky, but not before my boy get whatever he wants. And eventually, he's going to end up a little upset with his daddy. And I'm going to show his dad's face every time we get to the counter with the total.
A few moments later.
And just like clockwork, my boy is upset. I don't know why, but it's time to go. My snack is going to last me until we get there because mama's not even supposed to be on the road right now, but we're going to go make it happen. We finally made it to Florida, and it was about 3 or 4 o'clock that morning, but we got there, and it's time to go to Universal, baby. And if you can see what I see, my baby was super excited. Like, he danced his way all the way through security, and I was just happy to see him so happy. Like, I couldn't imagine what it felt like to be a child getting to Universal for the first time, but seeing him smile and dance and be so happy literally just lit up my whole world. And at this point, I don't think I had seen Gabe yet. My boy was absolutely living his best life with his friends. Garrett was in Universal.
He'll try to put me down in his hands like this. That dude right there.
How did it go?
My baby used his imagination, baby, and he had him a blast. I really didn't have to ride a thing, baby. I was enjoying the views, the sights, just enjoying myself. That's just how cute everything was to me. I was just looking around and having a time and enjoying watching my baby enjoy himself. I think my husband was having more fun than the children. Anytime I got to spend with Gabe and his classmates and their moms, it was definitely a blast because their moms had been there before, so they had a lot more knowledge than we did on different things. And this did push me out my comfort zone because I had no intentions on getting on any ride. But because my baby wasn't playing any games with me, honey, I was able to get on some rides, and they did have areas where I could get on rides. Imagine being from Louisiana and used to having Mardi Gras parades, and then they come out of nowhere with a Mardi Gras parade. Honey, we had us a little blast getting those little 1Bs they were throwing. And we had just had Mardi Gras here, so it wasn't anything too much for us. Now, this was the next day, our first day at Disney. I'm thinking this was Animal Kingdom, but I'm not really sure. This was Animal Kingdom, and we didn't have Lightning Lane passes, and my son was not happy. Well, I don't know. The passes were a lot different from Universal, and it was a headache for my junior. And then, in addition to us not having the right pass to get ahead in line, so we didn't have to wait as long with his friends, this little ticket to ride wasn't even right. So the passes that his dad had bought, he couldn't even use them. I don't even know if that made sense, but that's what I'm trying to convey. The good thing is that we were getting to the parks when they first opened, so we were able to ride the rides with the short lines at that time, and then we could deal with the longer lines later on in the day. The pass really didn't become an issue until later on in the day, if that makes sense. I can remember the mom saying some kind of way Gabe just keeps getting on and keeps getting off around the same time we get on. Because the lines weren't that long, he was able to get on the rides he wanted to get on and get off in a good time. So he was able to keep up with his friends for a long time that day. I wish I could get down there with you. I know one thing, I'm going to keep somebody home.
Said monkeys.
You called my baby one earlier.
Making the best of the way.
I just got done eating.
Say hey to the people.
Hey to the people.
Look at this.
Why are you farting, man? Farting. It's you. Adam been farting.
Look at this. Not good. Come look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look.
You don't know.
You need to step back in there now.
Look at me go.
show your dad. Look at her. Look, there you go. There you go. There you go. Look.
Look at it, right? Look at it.
Come look at this. Come look at this. Come look at this. 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 Fix it back. He's broke.
Somebody left the chicken.
Got some grass. I mean, just cut it. Just eat them up. Look, man. Look up in there.
Africa top that nest there. If you see one right now, there's because they're so large, they have a pretty big appetite too. Not only do they eat fish, they also eat crustaceans, other birds. Alright, so we're gonna head to our next habitat here in a moment. So we are swimming on over to the Safi River right about now. And you're gonna find a lot of semi-aquatic animals that like to spend their time. What's wrong with you? Anyways, anybody can guess how much those hippos weigh? Just give me a number. A ton. Pretty good guess. Anywhere between 2,500 to 5,000 pounds. So they're not that great at swimming. Instead, they rather walk or run on the bottom of the river in order to get around. Even with, they have some of the strongest jaws in the world with 18-inch incisors that they use to grab their food. Sounds pretty scary, but they're actually herbivores. Their favorite treat is watermelon. There's some more right over here too.
So quiet. Let me see the animals.
Alright, now those hippos were pretty cute, but there's other cuties here too. Y'all see those Nile crocodiles on your left hand side? Oh snap. If they look humongous, it's because they literally are about 11 to 16 feet long and they can weigh up to 500 pounds each. And the bumps on their backs, those are called osteoderms.
They're very clean about that. I mean, they're
Alright, now we're headed to our next habitat here in a second. You're gonna find on the left side, oh, Randy. Okay, Randy, looking like a baddie. Alright then. I can't stand him. Now here on the right hand side, there is that baobab tree. Doesn't look like too much going on at the surface, but underneath the surface there is tons of gallons of water by the thousands in the spongy layer. Lots of your favorite animals can break through the trunks of these trees to let some of that water seep out. That's how it gets its nickname, the Tree of Life. It is leafless for 9 months out of the year, but it can also bear fruit as well. And it's commonly blended to make a really sweet drink down in the continent of Africa. Now up next on MTV Cribs, notice a really drastic change in scenery. There's not a lot of place to hide, practically nowhere to swim. So these animals do have to rely on that great strength and agility that they have in order to survive. And plus there's so much room out here too, so there's lots of space for large groups and packs and other community classifications. Welcome to the savannah, guys. Also, of course, a lot of places where the sun is directly hitting the ground too. So there's a couple of naturally occurring landmarks that the animals will use to have a nice place to cool off during the daytime. Off here to the right, you're gonna find those Ankoli cattle, also known as Watusi cattle, named after the first people who discovered them. Now, those humongous horns are not used for self-defense. Instead, they kind of work as like an air conditioning system. The blood flows up and down those horns, releasing any excess body heat that they have, and that's how they regulate their temperature. They also have 4 chambers to their stomachs, which are specialized for digesting plant material. Time it takes them to fully consume anything is about 3 to 4 entire days. Also gonna find here in those dens is the African painted dogs. Anybody know what they get confused? Also there, briefly, you're gonna find those sable antelope, the official emblem of our reserve. Any fight or flight situation, they will always check. So that's a baby and her mom right there. You're never gonna find them too far apart because she will remember her mother's pattern for the rest of her life, kind of like how you remember yours. Of cervical bones in their necks that you and I do. Get a really good look right about now. You guys probably never thought of this before, but you know how they're super duper tall, right? They need a powerhouse of a heart in order to flow blood up against the force of gravity. To give you a better idea, if you make a fist with your hand, that's about the size of your heart and it weighs just under 1 pound. But giraffe hearts are 25 pounds each and about 3 feet long. Alright, there. But there's also some lighter shade of pink compared to other species. Still very pretty though. And they get the pink color from all of the shrimp that they eat because it contains a protein called beta carotene. You can find it in other foods that we eat too, like carrots and sweet potatoes, if you're looking for a nice pink coat for yourself too. Excuse me. That was crazy. And notice what they're doing right now, kind of swishing their heads back and forth and then spreading their wings out super far. Those are some of their reproductive patterns. That's how they find a mate within this group here. A bird in the world, if you didn't know. Although they are flightless, they more than make up for it in a pretty fast land speed, about 40 miles per hour. And they'll spread their wings as they do so, just to give themselves a little bit more balance, and it kind of acts like a steering wheel for them too. Let's see if we can find those white rhinos. About 5,000 pounds each, and the more social rhinos of their kind. So you have to find them in a large herd like this. If you notice, their ears are always moving. They have a very developed sense of hearing in order to make up for a lack in vision. They actually can't even see us right now. Thanks to conservation efforts, not just by Disney, that number has increased to 18,000. I think she's a little bit cold. They already look humongous. We're about 5 feet off of the ground and maybe 30 feet away. But to give you a better idea how large they are, they weigh 24 times more. You ever see them giving each other a headbutt? That's the same thing as a fist bump or a high five you give to your friend. That's how they communicate, and it's a form of affection for them too. And they also... The farmer offers them food, water, and protection from predators in exchange for nutritional and economic growth. Most importantly, functional for the animals that use them.
So some kind of way, when the school was issuing the passes, they gave my son one of his classmates' passes, and that wasn't working for Disney. Especially being that my husband was adding Lightning Lane passes to his Disney ticket, that just wasn't working. So we had to go to the help desk and spend about an hour and a half to 2 hours there trying to get that figured out, and then we could go back to riding rides. Neither one of my boys were happy. I believe my husband was even upset with the amount of time it took to get that figured out. But it had to be done, because if we didn't take care of it then, we were going to have to take care of it at the next park. And it just took too much time, in all honesty. The biggest issue was getting into the park. Once we got to Animal Kingdom, we had an issue getting in the park with that ticket. And when we got to Epcot, we would have had another problem getting into the park with that ticket. But since I went ahead and took care of it at Animal Kingdom, he was able to link back up with his friends once we got to Epcot. Like this Frozen ride. By the time Gabe, Gareth, and I got on this Frozen ride, Big Gabe, Little Gabe, and his friends were back together. And he was just as happy as he could be. But if I would have waited, he would not have been able to link back up with his friends. On this ride, I was more intrigued by the songs and by them looking like the real actresses in the movie, y'all. Like, we were supposed to get soaking wet. That's why we had our rain jackets on, but we didn't get an ounce of water on us. But it was so cool. It was so fun. And I don't even know where the picture is from us being on this ride, but it was so hilarious. Every time Gabe had a chance to get away from us, baby, he was gone. This thing is speeding up right here. I was scared. I'm not even gonna lie. But I can't say that I got on a ride that I didn't enjoy. It wasn't any that I got on that made me scared either. These nights were long. Like, we would get up and go to the parks early in the morning, and then we were staying there all night long. My baby was tired. He was ready to go early every single night. He had a blast, but these nights were not for him. I can say I went on this trip underprepared, because I didn't know there was a fireworks show at every park every night, or some of the parks every night. I didn't know that we could take food in. What else, Gary?
When they have water, don't mean that you get blessed.
I didn't know that when some rides have water, that doesn't mean I get splashed. And the food thing is just because Gareth and I both have allergies, and it was kind of hard for us to find good food to eat and being at that park all day. If we were to go back, I would definitely plan ahead for the lightning lanes and stuff. And then I would plan ahead to make sure that it's a family trip so that we all can enjoy and plan around all the things that we all want to do. Because there were some very big rides that both boys wanted to ride, but they didn't get a chance to because the lightning lane passes were sold out for those the whole entire time we were there. Like, it's an Avatar ride that Gareth has not stopped talking about yet that he wants to ride. But the rides that they did ride, they really enjoyed them. And it was a river rapid ride. I think Gareth rode that ride about 3 or 4 times. Like, he just kept getting to go back on it. He wanted everybody to go back and ride that ride with him. And this fireworks show was actually 2 to 3 times the length that you see on here. I cut so much of this fireworks show out, but I recorded it and I'm sharing it because it reminded me so much of the Las Vegas Dance and Lights show. I think that was what it was called, that we got to see with my mom when we went to Vegas one summer. So it reminded me so much of that. And I am shell shocked a lot. I don't really get to enjoy fireworks shows a lot, but it had the actual lights included in it as well. So I like that part about it as well.
Guys, tonight you're going to be looking for the purple umbrellas. At the purple umbrellas, you can get yourself a 20-minute extended tour of the Rock parking lot.
Well, it's fine, I'll say that.
I never saw a child that did not enjoy watching a Disney parade of the characters. This boy told me he don't understand how people can be so childish to want to watch a Disney parade with the characters. And it just really hurt my feelings because I was so happy to see Tinkerbell and Mickey and Minnie. But my boy was not feeling it at all. He was like, Mama, this is so childish. I think he was just more excited to go ride the rides. And they did have great rides at Magical Kingdom. I think that's what it was called. But Gareth wasn't feeling any of it.